Twitter is utterly humiliated as nations around the world have risen against the big tech censorship. In this video, we are going to take a look at the international condemnation of the Twitter suspension of US President Donald Trump and how Twitter have been caught red-handed for its hypocrisy. Nations around the world have risen up against these big tech oligarchs. We are not going to miss this. I am your host, Narayankar. It is so wonderful to be with you. We believe that the populist movement has just begun and we are here to make our views expressed to enlighten you about what is happening around the globe. Therefore, you make sure that you smack the bell and subscribe to one. We would love to have you as a regular part of this channel. Each of our videos are going to make you, the right-wingers, feel better and give lots of hope. So that the nations around the world are uniting against Twitter's suspending Trump's account. This is absolutely a wonderful development. Many world leaders are calling this as an outrageous act of imposing censorship not only on Trump but also on his 80 plus million followers on the platform. Actually, these very people who should be deciding on the suspension, not Jack Dorsey or any of the leftist and communist big tech executives. Angela Merkel called Twitter's eviction of Trump as problematic. Her spokesperson, Stephen Seibert, said free speech was a fundamental right of vital importance that could be restricted, but only in accordance with the laws and within a framework defined by the legislators. This is very important to note. Not by the decision of the management of social media platforms or their CEOs. The German leader's stance was echoed by French Finance Minister Bruno Le Maire, who said that the state and not the digital oligarchy is responsible for regulations, calling big tech one of the threats to democracy. Bravo! Europe is increasingly pushing back against the growing influence of big tech companies. The European Union is currently in the process of setting up regulation that could give the bloc power to split up platforms if they do not comply with rules. Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador blasted the decision to ban Trump from social media sites, adding that it was a bad sign that private companies have the authority to censor opinions. But these condemnations pale in comparison with the number of other nations are doing in rising up against the tyranny of the big tech oligarchy. It is really awesome that we are seeing the rise of the nationalist leaders around the world saying you shall not pass with this leftist oligarchic dirt around. Now let us talk about Uganda. Now this is viciously too good. You heard about it. Uganda has ordered internet service providers to block all social media platforms and messaging apps, including Twitter and Facebook, in retaliation for blocking some pro-government accounts. Reacting to this, the Twitter public policy had the audacity to whine about the banning. Here is Twitter. Public policy tweeted out. Ahead of the Ugandan election, we are hearing reports that internet service providers are being ordered to block social media and messaging apps. We strongly condemn internet shutdowns. They are hugely harmful, violate basic human rights and the principles of the open internet hashtag. I cannot just stop laughing. This is not satire. This is real. This is Jack Dorsey's Twitter staff who just permanently blocked President Trump lecturing another nation, condemning another nation which did exactly what Jack Dorsey did. Can you think of anything more explicit than reality? That how aloof from reality that these big tech oligarchs are, the kind of bubbles these people live in. Unimaginable. These public comments of Dorsey is beyond public comprehension. By the way, where was this Twitter public policy when Parler was blocked? Nevertheless, Uganda is not alone. Uganda is just the beginning. In India, there is a massive backlash against Twitter. A prominent BJP leader, Tejasvi Surya, said if Twitter can do it to Trump, they can do it to any other global leader. Poland's justice minister announced a legal initiative aimed at enabling internet users to file complaints against the removal of online posts as well as the creation of a special court for freedom of speech. Justice Minister of Poland said the aim of the bill was to give internet users the feeling that their rights are protected and that their posts cannot be arbitrarily removed from online platforms. A law is due to be passed in Poland that would fine big tech firms $2.2 million every time they unconstitutionally censor lawful speech online. Under its provisions, social media services will not be allowed to remove content or block accounts if they do not break Polish law. Even the European Union and the British have introduced new regulations to pressure the big tech to take down harmful content and open themselves up to more competition. So, it does indicate that the nations around the world are waking up against these internet oligarchs. They have begun to realize that the corporate oligarchs can be as tyrannical as any dictatorial leader. Before we end, make sure you make a comment down below and subscribe to our videos. And I want you wonderful people to watch our other videos on our channel. Thank you very much.